I'm gonna be down here so I can see. So there are 4 different ways to flag juggle. There is just the lone flag juggle, without sprint. There is the sprint juggle. And there is the evade juggle, which I can't do because I don't have evade. And then there is the jetpack juggle. We will be going over all of these right now because they're all fairly simple. But the only problem people have is actually getting the practice time to do it and actually improving. So that's what we will be doing. Basically, we're just gonna start off easy and work our way up. How does everybody know this flag juggle right here?
Yeah.
Regular walking flag juggle. I'm talking to you, Hobie.
Is that the best one?
No.
This one.
Best ones. Yeah. MLG. That's what it is now. No sprint, so that's the one everybody's gonna be most commonly using as long as you play MLG. The only ones add jetpack juggling. But if you guys play things like the objective playlist or some other playlist, action, there are certain game types like classic CTF that have, you can flag juggle. So those are important ones. But to start off, we're going to be doing the walk and juggle, and what you're basically going to do is you're just going to walk up to the flag, use whatever pickup button you have on your controller settings, and then you're just going to either press whatever weapon switch button is, or you can press a lot of different buttons just to drop the flag. One I use is I use recon, so I use the Y button. Just a quick, simple, easy to do. You can use the trigger button, but when you do that, if you have some sort of power weapon, you risk wasting ammo if you miss it. But it's not really that big of a deal. But use whatever weapon or whatever button you most feel comfortable with, whatever your controller settings are. So it's something you guys want to experiment with, either now or on your own time. But what is useful, it's really useful, gets you a lot more distance, is when you guys slightly look up when you're juggling. Grab the flag, slightly look up, it gets you a lot farther. Doing this, you guys gotta be able to make sure you don't put it too far up, and the flag, you miss juggle like I just did, or you just completely look up too far and it fall behind you. That's pretty much all there is to it. Jumping, well, you can either do this jumping or just walking. Jumping gets you a lot farther, a lot faster, but walking can be safer at times because you stay out of the field of fire when you're jumping and pop your head up above a wall or something like that. So, something we'll go over. The next version is sprint juggling. Everybody want to look at me really quick? Basically what this is right before you grab it, you're gonna sprint just a little, and then you're gonna grab the flag. And right when you grab the flag, you're not gonna be able to sprint any longer. But what I do, it's just a lot simpler. It saves a lot of your sprint. A lot simpler because you could miss the flag when you're trying to grab it after you come out of the sprint. What I do is I just stop my sprint because, like I just said, you can miss the flag because of the combination of buttons you go to grab the flag. If that makes any sense. Fight me, dogs.
Very informative.
Anybody got any questions? No. Well, it's a fairly simple process. It's the same thing as the first one I just went over. You just kind of want to grab the flag, toss it up, and then right in between your flag, you're dropping it and picking it back up. You're just going to hit the sprint button slightly. Yeah. It's a little bit tougher. It's a lot tougher than the first one, but it's something, it gets you a lot farther, it's a lot easier, and it's a lot more tactical, I guess, if you want to say, to do it, especially when you got the enemy team, you know, completely killed off. They're going to be respawning very shortly, so it helps you get a lot more flag captures and a lot less time. The next one is evade. Let me get the evade really quick. Evade juggling is only very useful once or twice in a game. It only gets you a very far distance in a short one time, and then the rest of it's just one time, or just basically walking juggling, or you hand it off to a teammate. But it can get the flag out of the base really fast. That way, in case the enemy team is coming off the spawn or something like that. Simple like that. You can grab it. Flag will go very far. Be able to hand it off to a teammate, something like that. You know, it's very simple once you get the hang of it. Once you do it a couple times and understand the method behind it, it's something you can easily grasp. But the cons of this is it's very hard to actually grab the flag in time after you come off the evade. So it's something you're definitely not going to want to try and do in a game, unless you're playing a bunch of MLG pro noobs that don't know what Halo is, and you can practice it. But I wouldn't recommend doing it in a game that actually means something. Do it on your own time to practice, because it's one of those juggles that it's easy to fuck up.
No respect. Alright, you want to race to the big door? Enter.
Okay, please. Ollie, do you have evade?
Yeah.
Flag reset.
Everybody want to come down bottom red really quick? I'll show you how to do this. Basically, this is... Ollie, you want me to wait for you?
No, you're going.
Alright, so this is basically what flag juggling is. One sec. Oh, jeez. Okay, just like that. It's easy to get from level to level, but like I just said a minute ago, you have to have a flat stationary surface. I mean, it's very tricky to do it over a rounded surface, but it is possible as long as you got a lot of good practice at it. What you're basically doing, the combination of buttons that you're going to be using, is you're going to be holding, what I do is I hold my jetpack, that way I don't have to keep holding it, because every time I let go and then touch it again, I drop slightly, and it's just very hard to do, especially with the flag, that when you grab it, you can't use any abilities, so you just fall down farther than you go up, so it's kind of like one step forward, two steps back kind of thing. But what I do is I just hold my jetpack button, and I just keep hitting the right bumper, because when you're jetpacking and you grab the flag, you lose your jetpack. But when you hit the jetpack button again, you kind of grab the flag, or you drop the flag. Does that make sense?
Flag
Holy
reset.
cow. That was
So-
easy.
Good for you. You jetpack, you grab the flag, because jetpack, you grab the flag, you jetpack, grab the flag. It's something, it's hard to do with a combination of buttons that you use. I use the right bumper and my left bumper, because that's the settings that I'm on. But depending on which settings you use, bumper jumper, I know it's like nearly impossible to actually do because of the button layout. But again, it is possible as long as you have a lot of practice, I think,
You can
and
crawl.
just meow. If you want to come down here, Krail. Or actually, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna jump up the first time, and you're gonna bounce off the wall. You can get pretty close to the wall, but sometimes if you get too close to the wrong wall, you will it'll bounce completely off the wall
No.
behind you, and you won't be able to grab it. So it's good to stay away from the wall a little bit, but you know, it's helpful to stay as close to the wall as
Aw,
possible,
dang it.
without being too far away. So is that any questions? I'm concerned to get on your head. Try looking at the wall and not like where you're it's where you're looking is where you're going to control it. Try just using your senses and kind of moving your whatever stick you use to go over, like not your looking button, your looking stick, but yeah, like that. Try just using that as a way to guide the flag, because wherever you look is going to be where your flag goes. Hey, go. Nice. High five.